Oftentimes people come to me and they're like, Michelle, I don't know what to do about this. And the reality is that 9 times out of 10, you know what you need to do. You just aren't doing it. There's something inside of you that's holding you back from making the decision that's going to change everything. It's actually the same 7 things that hold people back from making decisions. I see over and over again with people, just with their varying degrees. So what I want to do today is talk to you a little bit about that decision-making process.
Welcome to the Spiral Up podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Wieme, a peak performance coach and business strategist dedicated to helping you see what's possible within you, the blind spots that are holding you back, and the solutions to ensure success and fulfillment without the hustle. I use my secret sauce of metaphysics, brain science, and scripture to work with God to manifest your ideal life and business. If you're ready to create massive forward momentum in your business and bust through the blocks that drag you down, join me on the Spiral Up journey and create the clarity, confidence, and consistency to become the CEO that lives your life by design. It's time to create the sustainable impact, income, and time freedom you desire faster. Now is the time to spiral up.
Hey, friend. Welcome back to the Spiral Up podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Wieme, and today I cannot wait to talk to you about the number one thing that I see holding people back from success, and that is your inability to make a freaking decision. And I just got off this amazing podcast that we did live with a new friend of mine, and we ended up talking about the power of decision and really how I was able to get from where I was to where I am. And it honestly came from the ability to make the decisions. And most importantly, the big decision that I made a couple of years ago to leave my full-time career, the cushy, pension and the stable, secure income and schedule and all the things that were going to happen. But once I made that decision, it was literally like a key turned and the lock unlocked and everything else started to fall into place. But I had to make that decision first. And I got to just say that it doesn't even matter if it's the big decisions like leaving your career, or if it's something as simple as, do I do this? Yes or no? Decision making is genuinely, truly the one thing that if you can really get yourself to be able to make decisions, you are going to get further along in your business and live a more happy, fulfilled, fruitful life with ease and joy and flow, like for real. And I think that when I get stuck in overthinking, when I get stuck in analysis paralysis, and when I get stuck in confusion of I don't know what I want to do, that's when I have this resistance energy. And that's when it keeps my life flow and my source energy stuck here instead of being able to fully move forward the way it needs to be. And I just got to say that when I was listening to the intro just a minute ago, I talk about how give you the impact and income and time freedom you desire. And how you do that is through confidence, consistency, and oh my gosh, clarity. It's really comes down to being able to make the decisions that are going to help to refine that confidence, that clarity, and that consistency. Now, I'm just going to tell you that oftentimes people come to me and they're like, Michelle, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about this. And the reality is that 9 times out of 10, probably 100%, if I really pushed, that you know what you need to do. You already freaking know what to do. You just aren't doing it. You just aren't pulling the trigger. And it's not that you don't want to. It's not that you don't have that desire. It's that there's something inside of you that's holding you back from making the decision that's going to change everything. And I want to just tell you right now that there's nothing wrong with you. It's actually the same 7 things that hold people back from making decisions. I see over and over and over and over again with people, just with their varying degrees, including myself, honestly. And so what I want to do today is talk to you a little bit about that decision-making process and know that you're not alone and that there are ways for us to be able to make those decisions, because once we do, we are going to finally have the sustainable business success that we need. But the longer you stay in this confusion state and this confusion energy and the lack of clarity and I don't know what to do, the more you're going to stay stuck. Friend, you already know what you need to do. You're just not doing it. So why? What is the but that is getting in the way? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like we all have big butts and I cannot lie. Like I would do this, but. And I think about this, it's like I would leave my job, but I would start this business, but I would go live on Facebook, but. What are the buts that are holding you back? And I want to talk about those buts today that I see over and over again, but I also want to remind you of something, okay? I think one of the biggest things that I see holding people back from making decisions is that you think you have to have all of the things figured out. You feel like you need to know every single step on that mountain all the way up to the top in order for you to take that first step. And I promise you that if I had known every single step of that mountain, there's no way I would have started, nor would I have wanted to, because here's the deal. When I've taken a step, when I'm making a small micro decision and I've allowed the step that I need next, the breadcrumb that I need next to literally appear before me, and then I take action and then I take the next decision and the next step appears and then I take action from that decision and the next step appears and I keep doing that, I am gotten to places better, bigger, faster than I ever could have planned myself. And I think back on my journey as far as like way back when I started my very first business in skincare, and how even though I'm not doing that anymore, it led me to the social media coaching that I did, which led me to the mindset coaching that I did, which would led me to the business and mindset consulting and the speaking and the books and the podcast and all the things that I'm doing now. None of that would have happened if I hadn't taken the one tiny decision and then trusted the next step after that and then the next step after that. And right now, my business is literally the foundation of my next movement that I know God is leaning me towards and allowing me to have the courageous next step that I need to take. And so it's fun, kind of fun that I get to teach this because of my experience, but I embody it because, guys, this isn't going to be, I know that, check, now on to the next thing. It literally is something that you're going to have to revisit. And that's why with my clients that are inside of Spiral Up, they actually have access to the things that we're going to talk about here in a second. And what I ask them to do is they start step one, lesson number one, and I have it set out in a very intentional order because one step builds on the next, which builds on the next, which builds on the next. But I tell them, when you are stuck, when you are knowing what you need to do but are not making that decision, I want you to go back to where your butt is in the lessons and revisit those lessons, because this is an evolution. And as we continue to grow, as we continue to level up, we're going to face the same things over and over again, but they're just going to look a little bit differently. And as you grow, as you develop your skills, you're going to pivot faster. You're going to be able to recognize things faster, and it's not going to bog you down as much, but it doesn't mean it goes away. Okay. So I want you to understand that. You're not meant to know everything. You're just meant to take the next decision, follow through with that action, make the next decision, follow through that action, and get to where you need to go. But it's going to be even better than what you could have planned. So I've mentioned buts and I've mentioned our inability to make decisions. So what the heck is holding us back from making these freaking decisions? I'm going to tell you that there are 7 things that I see over and over and over again at various degrees. And I will tell you that all of us have components of all 7 of these, but some of them are, hold a tighter power over others. And what I found is that if you have any leaks essentially in any one of these 7 things, it causes the integrity of the whole to collapse a little bit. So once you're able to really develop these skills and keep your balloon essentially inflated with this foundational knowledge, anytime there's a leak that comes in, you're able to recognize it really fast and fill it back up. And this is where the power comes, because when you discover that you're able to make these decisions, you're not stuck in analysis paralysis. You're not stuck in the fear and wondering what's going to happen. You're able to make the decision, learn from it, make the decision, learn from it, make the decision, benefit from it, make the decision, benefit from it. And it's going to continue to benefit you, and you're going to grow over and over again, because there is nothing that you can mess up. When you allow God to guide you, you will know exactly what to do next, and it will always be for your good, even if it's not apparent right away. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So what are these 7 things that hold people back from making a decision? Number 1 is your inability to own your power of choice. You guys, I believe very much that all of us have a superpower. Every single one of us has a superpower of free will. And when we recognize that this superpower allows us to either blame life, blame people, blame circumstances of why things aren't working, and allow ourselves to stay in this pity party and allow ourselves to energetically continue to vibrate at the frequency of more crap, you're going to stay stuck. But this very, very basic, first, most powerful, most important step is to recognize that you have the power to choose. And you can either choose to be below the line and be in the blame game and feeling sorry for yourself and life is hard and all the things, or you could get yourself up to neutral again and say, okay, what if I just accepted that this is how it is? What if I accepted that this is my health? What if I accepted that this is my financial situation right now? What if I accepted that this is my marriage right now? It just is. What if I just get myself to neutral and accept this just is? Now I've at least given myself a place to get to the empowered perspective, because I'm not trying to change somebody or make something different in a disempowered, I'm victim to this. I get myself up to the place where like, okay, well, now what? This is just is, now what? And now I can take that next step to say, okay, what can I do from where I am with what I have? What solutions can I come up with? What people can I talk to? What things can I try? And everything will start to shift the moment you recognize that you are not subject to anything, that you have the power to create life in whatever you need to and want to, because you choose to rise above whatever circumstances you have. Life will change for you. That's step number one, is recognizing that you're not stuck. You're choosing to stay stuck. So choose to get unstuck, okay? The second thing that I see over and over again is a lack of clarity around our vision and what makes us special. And so people come to me all the time, like, I know that there's something inside of me that needs to come out. I know that there's a calling. I know that I have a bigger impact than what I'm doing day to day. But I'm not clear on what that is. And I really don't know why me, like what makes me special. And what I love about the things that we do inside of Spiral Up is that I'm able to help them not only recognize that you might not even be meant to know what that beautiful vision is yet. Maybe you're just meant to know this tiny part of it. And then the next step will appear to you, and the next step will appear to you. Just like I said, the movement that I am starting to make on the spiritual side of things is bigger than anything that I could have ever imagined for myself. But it started with me starting a skincare business, and me saying yes to that led to this, which led to this, which led to this, which led to this, which is where I am at now. And my purpose and my calling continues to evolve. Now, granted, it is still the same theme of helping people feel empowered, to help people get out of their own way, to help people see that life can be bigger and better than what you could imagine for yourself, to allow people to recognize that fine is not good enough anymore, and that you can go after it, and you absolutely can have this miraculous, beautiful life. That's what I want you to know. And that all of my different parts of my calling that keep evolving still have a similar theme, but it looks different. It's like putting on a different hat or a different coat, and that's okay. Maybe you're not meant to know everything, the top of the mountain yet, but you will recognize the next step that it appears. And I also love to help people to see, essentially read their label on the outside of their jar, right? We don't understand what makes us special because it's just who we are. And we don't understand that there are people who are literally praying for you and your unique talents and your unique expertise and your unique experience because of everything that you are and who you are. But you need somebody like myself that helps to come in, to helps you see what makes you special, what sets you apart, where are your strengths, and helps you get clear in that vision of what that looks like and how your strengths, your skill set, your experiences, your passions, the things you've overcome align with your purpose and your calling. And when you start to see the intersection, it's like clarity on steroids. And that's what I see hold people back, is that they think that they need to have it all figured out. They don't know what makes them special, and they stay stuck and they don't make the decisions. Okay. The next thing I see people do is block their intuition and think that a guru from the outside, like myself, like Tony Robbins, like I don't even know, somebody else, somebody fancy, right? Like, is telling them what to do, instead of them recognizing that spirit is always guiding you. God is literally telling you your next step right now. Are you listening? Are you trusting yourself that you've heard it? And are you trusting yourself and God well enough to take that action? And the moment that you start to recognize that you are being guided, and if you literally take the time to energetically tap in and ask God yes, no questions, he will give you the answer 100% of the time. And that's what I love teaching people, is that it's possible. So then all of a sudden you realize that there is not a single question on this planet that you don't have the answer to, that there is no confusion anymore, and that your decisions are being guided by source, by spirit, by your highest self, who already understands how all of this is going to play out and wants what's best for you. And you recognize then that there is no mistake, that your next step is going to be exactly the step that you're supposed to take, even if it doesn't turn out the way you thought. You are going to evolve, and you're going to learn, and you're going to pick up the pieces that you need from that space. And then you're going to take the next step forward again. And I promise you that when you do that, you will not only trust that everything is happening for you at all times, but you'll start to piece together the beautiful parts of your journey that have led you exactly where you're supposed to go. And you know that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're not behind. You're right where you're supposed to be, because you've trusted that. And that's so freaking powerful when that happens. The next thing that I see hold people back is their lack of confidence in their belief in themselves. This is where we allow limiting beliefs to run the show. This is where we say we want to make such and such a decision. So let me give you an example. Let's just say that you decided that you want to hire help, that you have worked with a guru and they say, yep, you need an assistant, or you need to hire another coach, or you need to hire, another realtor to work for you, or you need to whatever. Okay. So you've been given the strategy. And I'm going to tell you, friends, as a business consultant, I can tell people strategy all day long. I can give you the freaking scripts. I can tell you exactly what to do. You know how many people choose not to do what I tell them to do? And it's not because it's not sound advice, because it's been proven over and over again. It's because they have limiting beliefs that are preventing them from making the freaking decision. All the things that we're talking about here. So whatever guru is telling you what strategy to take, if you have a limiting belief that's blocking your ability to say yes to that strategy, it's not going to work, right? And so think about this. So let's just say that you were told that you should delegate to somebody, you should hire somebody to do something for you, okay? Now, but you have a limiting belief that money is scarce, and that what if I don't have enough to pay them? And so now I don't want to make the decision. Or I have a limiting belief that I'm supposed to be busy and work 24/7, because that's what an entrepreneur does. So if I give away all these tasks, then oh my gosh, I must be lazy, and I'm supposed to be working hard for my money, right? Or I want to delegate, but you believe that person is going to create this space where you're not even needed anymore. And because you have this unworthiness and not enough situation happening, you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't hire somebody, because what if that happens, right? Or maybe you have a belief in the end that success means that you're going to be lonely at the top, and that if you hire somebody, it means that your business will actually scale the way that you've said it should. But then if that actually happens, that means that you're going to be successful. And then what if you have all this money, and what if all your friends leave? You understand what I'm saying? If you have these limiting beliefs that are running the show in the background, no matter what you say you want to do, you're not making the decisions that are best for you. And you really have to start identifying those puppet strings that are running in the background. The next one that I see over and over again is our inability to overcome our fears, right? So I want to make the decision to leave my job. I want to make the decision to hire somebody. I want to make the decision to start the business. But we fear being alone. We fear being rejected. We fear that we're not going to have enough money. We fear that, we're going to be out on the street, right? The truth is that the anatomy of fear is the same regardless of what the fear is. I don't care if it's a fear of spiders, to a fear of being homeless, to a fear of being abandoned. It doesn't matter. The anatomy of fear and the way you overcome fear is the same every single time. And so once you are able to understand that, then fear doesn't have its hold on you anymore, and you can actually make the freaking decisions that are going to get you to where you want to go. Okay. Now, the sixth thing that I see, 6 out of 7, is your inability to stay consistent, organized, and efficient. And I see this over and over again, where people start getting all of this stuff clicking, right? But they don't have the organization to maintain it, or they don't have the systems in place to allow for automation and delegation and all of these things to help them to be efficient, to work harder, not smarter. They're going to burn themselves out because we've done all this work. And so now I'm like, oh my God, I'm ready to do it. And then they're like, dropping balls left and right because they don't have the systems in place. And so the decisions to be successful hinge upon our ability to manage the busyness, to manage the output, to manage the strategy. And once we're able to get these things buttoned up, it's easier to make the decision. And the last thing that I see hold people back when it comes from making decisions is the inability to really see the vision, the why, and have a resiliency plan. Because I'm going to tell you that even if you followed all 6 of these steps that preceded this, life still lifes. You're still going to find yourself sick. Your kids are going to be sick. Your husband's crabby. The stock market goes down. Whatever the case, Facebook, you get hacked. Like, I don't care, whatever the case may be, right? Like, life still lifes. And if you don't have a rock solid vision of what you want to see happen and why you're doing what you're doing, it's going to happen where all of a sudden you could make the next decision to do something and you start to spiral down because you haven't given yourself the ability to be resilient. And so when you know your why, when you understand what the heck you're doing here and the impact that you're making and the pain that you're avoiding and the pleasure that you're creating and all of the things, no matter what happens, and you put on this armor of understanding the vibrational flow of energy, and you understand how to get yourself back up to neutral and accept things and bringing yourself back up to empowered decision making, and you're able to keep yourself in that flow and honor your feelings and allow yourself to actually feel them. That's another thing that people don't realize, but that's another topic for another day. My point is that you have to be able to have those skills in order for you to continue to make the decisions that are going to take you to the next place in your business. You see, ultimately, at the end of the day, friends, is that you're feeling stuck because you're not making the decisions to take you to the next level. And I'm not even talking about like big decisions like leaving your job or investing in, I mean, think about this, like I've invested a lot of money in a lot of people, like $35,000 to work with somebody for a year. Like that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But I promise you that when I made those big decisions, all of a sudden things started to click because I took myself seriously. But I also was working on all of these at the same time. And I was proving to myself that I was resilient. I was proving to myself that I was capable. I was proving to myself that I could be confident because I take action. And you can't just read about this stuff, you guys. You have to embody it. And it comes from making the little decisions, one at a time, giving yourself the empowered ability to use your free will, to use your choice, and to see that it is possible because you've actually decided, instead of staying stuck in the confusion cyclone energy that just keeps you in the stalemate. Okay. I want this for you. I want you to be able to understand that your life of hustling for the sake of hustling doesn't have to happen. And it comes from something as simple as learning how to make a decision. I want this for you. I want this for the impact that you're going to make in the world. And I know that it's possible for you. Okay. Now, if you are feeling like I totally had every single thing on the head that like you get, like this is you, this is what's been holding you back, I want to personally invite you right now to have a call with me. What we've been doing is doing these 5-figure month strategy calls. And I have reserved a few of them a month that I can help you guys to be able to discover what it is that you're wanting and what's been holding you back and what next steps to take. But ultimately, friends, when it comes down to it, I can give you all the strategy. I can tell you what to do next. I can tell you what your blind spots are, and I can tell you what your roadblocks are. But it ultimately comes down to you making the decision. Are you ready to make the decision to change your life? Yes or no? And if not, are you okay staying in the same spot you are a year from now, 5 years from now, when you're 80 years old, you look back at your life, are you going to be happy with what you see? Or are you ready to start making the next small decision that's going to take you to the place that you've been wanting to go this whole time? And learning how to make every other decision from this point on. It's so much freaking fun. All right, head on over to my website, get yourself one of those strategy calls before they're gone. And I love you so much. So I'll see you next time on the Spiral Up podcast. And until then, just keep spiraling up, friends, okay?
so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. Each honest review helps me spiral up so that I can serve you even better. Whether you're feeling a lack of impact, income, or time freedom, or perhaps you're just ready for massive momentum in your business, let's chat. Apply for a breakthrough call so that you can gain clarity, identify what's holding you back, and make a plan to spiral up. Head on over to im-lifebydesign.com/breakthrough or access the link in the show notes. For immediate support, log into our community, the Better Club. We focus on inspiration, tactical guidance, and support. This is a community that wants to be better, do better, and have better in life and in business, and we're going to help you do the same. Let's spiral up, friends.